Hello and welcome to the Moray coast in the northeast of Scotland. In this video I'm going to be showing you why you should be shooting your landscape photos in your local area. To me, shooting locally means shooting anywhere within a 30-minute drive of your home, and as this is a new YouTube channel, I feel it's very fitting for me to come back to where my landscape photography journey all began. So I've been doing landscape photography now as a hobby ever since my mid-teens, and obviously back then I couldn't drive, and even when I learnt how to drive I was quite a nervous driver and wouldn't drive a long distance. That left me with no choice but to shoot in my local area. But that's not always a bad thing, and here's why. No one knows your local area better than you do. If you enjoy landscape photography, then chances are that you love the outdoors as well. I mean, it would be silly if you didn't, right? Therefore, you probably spend most of your spare time out wandering around your local area. You therefore probably already have a big catalogue of locations stacked up in your mind, just waiting to be photographed. You're far more likely to get a unique image. Unless you live in a national park or somewhere like the Isle of Skye. Lucky you if you do, by the way. Chances are that your local area is not that well photographed. You're therefore far more likely to get a unique image if you're photographing somewhere that's only been photographed a couple of hundred times instead of tens of thousands of times or even hundreds of thousands of times. It's a lot less time consuming. We all live really busy lives nowadays. It's therefore very difficult for us to find a weekend free to get away and take photos. One of the great things about photographing locally is that you only need a couple of hours one morning or evening to go out and take photos. That way you've got plenty of time left to get your work done, do your housework or finish your studying. The more you get out with your camera, the more you're going to learn. Shooting locally is therefore a great place to start. Even if you don't live somewhere particularly picturesque, there will be somewhere nearby where you can practice your composition and perfect your exposure. If you're new to photography, starting locally is definitely the way to go. It makes sense, right? When you start out in photography, all your followers are going to be your friends and family, who will show their friends and family your work, and chances are they will live in your local area as well. People connect with images that they can relate to, so there's nothing better for them to relate to than images of their local area shot in beautiful and dramatic light conditions. So now that we've got those 5 reasons out of the way, let's get some landscape photography done. Locally, of course. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is nothing more exciting than packing up your bags and going away to the Scottish Highlands or ticking a location off your bucket list. But coming locally really makes you appreciate where you've come from. I feel so many photographers nowadays just want to go away for that big adventure to get that massive photo that's going to win them awards. But really, landscape photography is not all about that. It's about appreciating the world, appreciating what is around you, and locally, you know, it really helps you to do that. I've been photographing on this beach ever since the day I started landscape photography. In fact, I think I may have even taken my first ever landscape photo on this beach. And I mean, do you believe me? Look at it. When the tide is out, this place is so vast, so phenomenal. There's so much opportunity for a good photo. But this is why you should appreciate your local places. They are full of hidden treasures and hidden wonders. So I've come kind of down to the sea's edge to see if I can find a nice composition for when the sun does set. But every time I try and get nearer the sea, seagulls start flying over my head and squawking, and it is quite scary. They've still got young just now, and although they're young, have started to grow up. They're obviously still very territorial and protective over them. So I don't really want to go over there in fear of being swooped by some seagulls. So I think what I might do is go back up to where I was earlier, where I started off this video on the sand dunes, and basically see if I can find a composition up there so that when the sun sets we might get some really nice light hopefully, and it'll look really nice in the background. Whoa, look at the size of this jellyfish that I've just found. It's absolutely massive. You never know what you're going to come across when you're out taking photos. So I've come back up onto the sand dunes. I'm a bit gutted, to be honest, because there was a composition over there somewhere that I really wanted to shoot. It was somewhere that I've had in my mind for a long time now, which again is why shooting locally is so good, because you already have these locations in your head. But unfortunately there's now a group of teenagers underneath it, carrying on, playing loud music, messing around. So I've had to come further down. I've kind of found this shot, I'm not really that happy with it, but there's some pools obviously on the beach from where the sea would have been when the tide was high, and they're kind of acting as a kind of leading line into the sunset. Like I say, it's not a great image, but it's something that I can maybe work with, and if the sun comes back from behind the clouds we might get some really nice light and it might just help it pop. So we'll wait and see if that comes about. But as you can see, the image is over here. There's the pools of water, sunset behind it. We'll see how it goes. One of the things I could really do with for this image is obviously a hard grad neutral density filter, because the sky in a minute is going to be a lot brighter than the foreground. But unfortunately I was a really bad photographer and I never took care of my filters, and every single one of my hard grad ND filters are scratched to the extent where if I took photos with them you would see the line clearly through it and there'd be nothing I could do about it. So I've only got soft grad ND filters now, which I don't think is really going to work for this image because obviously we've got the straight horizon. So I'm just going to have to wait and see how things go. I might try and take, you know, two exposures and blend them together, but if I'm honest, I've never used Photoshop. I'm a Lightroom girl. Photoshop's a bit too complicated for me, and I also think, you know, messing around with images can sometimes ruin them a bit. But it is something I'd like to learn, so we'll see how things go tonight and see if that's going to be an opportunity, but I don't know. I don't know if this light's going to manifest as I hoped either. Right now, the sun's beginning to burst through the clouds over there, but it's quite kind of misty and hazy on the horizon, so I don't think we're going to get that really bright light that I was hoping for, which was going to make the image pop. But there's still time yet for that to change. So the light really isn't happening up here, if I'm honest. I've just tried a landscape image instead of a portrait one. It looked a bit more interesting, but it wasn't interesting at all, to be honest. I'm noticing that there's some dramatic skies happening over behind the pier, so I think I'm going to go and head over there now. Probably the sun will have set by the time I get there, but it's worth a try, I think. So I'm going to pack up my gear and head over there now. The sky is on fire right now. This always happens to me. Either like my last video, I pack up too early, or in this one, I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. I've just ran all the way up to the headland, so I'm hoping I'm going to catch it just in time. I think I've missed it. And I was just going to go down to the back shore to see if I could maybe try and get some interesting foreground images. But there's already 4 photographers down there already. So I'm not really wanting to go down and get in the way. Man, I'm devastated. Maybe I'll pick up something on the walk back, but second video done, and second video where I just don't get the light. But that's, I suppose, one of the challenges in landscape photography and the reason why we do it, really. Because when the light is good, it's really good, and when you get a good photo, it's amazing. But I've walked so much tonight, Evan. I've got nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. But you know what? Because I shot locally, it's not cost me a single penny to come here tonight. Not one penny. And at the end of the day, I've had a good walk, so I've had a lot of exercise. I saw a big jellyfish. And it's just nice to get out and enjoy the fresh air. Next time I'm going to be in the Isle of Harris and Lewis, so hopefully I'll get much more better light there and much better luck. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Do you know, the walk home's really got me thinking. Although tonight's been a complete disaster photography wise, this is why you've got to shoot locally. I find when you go to some of these iconic locations, there's so much beautiful landscapes and compositions to choose from. Sometimes you're spoilt for choice, and sometimes it can be quite easy actually. I mean, sure, you need the right light conditions and you need the right weather, but when you're shooting locally, it is so much harder to find a good composition and so much harder to find that stunning image that you're looking for. And it really challenges you. If you do get that great image, it would be so much more rewarding. And really, you learn so much more, and it really keeps your photography fresh.